When growing squash and zucchini plant vertically upward and do a light pruning, you could get a better, faster production, save tons of space in your garden. If you let this plant run, it will take over so much space in your garden when we could plant a lot more plant in there. We're going to prune it and grow it vertically. Now, you could do this in a container or you could do it in ground. This is a 5-gallon container. I suggest you guys do 5-gallon and bigger for these plants because they do grow big. All we require is get a garden stake. Doesn't matter if it's wood or not. You want to get at least about 5 to 6 feet. You could get one or you could put 2 in each side. You're going to need some of these garden twist ties, and you're going to need yourself a pruner or a scissors. These twist tie is good because they're soft coated on the top, so it does not destroy or damage the plants. Zucchini and squash plant grows best between 65 to 75 degrees. What we're going to do, you're going to come at least about 3 inches away from your main stem right here. Don't worry, it's not going to damage too much of the roots. If it damages a little bit, it's okay. This plant has a lot of roots to spare. If you use a wood, make sure you get a knife and cut the wood at the bottom, make it more pointy and more slim so it's not taking over too much. So we're going to fill more soil in here later on and compost. Zucchini plant needs a lot of fertilizer or compost. There's a big plant, it produces massive fruit and massive leaves. The first thing, we want to make sure we get at least about 10 leaves on this plant, minimum at least. And what we're going to do, we're going to start pruning from the bottom. We have multiple leaves. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove, you have a male flower here. I'm not going to remove the male flower right now because we need them. We're going to bring in a lot more bees. So we remove 1, we remove 2, and then if we turn the container, I'm going to show you, we want to make sure you remain at least about 8 leaves. And then we're going to come right here. So we cut out about 3 leaves only. So this right here is your male. It's like a skinnier, slim bottom with a bud on the top, which is going to be a flower. This right here, you could see how it's yellow. It's like thicker, which is the fruit. And we also had a flower at the top right here, the bud that's going to become a flower. So you can see by removing that couple leaves, 3 leaves, we have good airflow. Now, when you water, do not water on top of your leaves. You water your soil. You got to add fertilizer. You sprinkle fertilizer right here. More new soil right here. So we got a good clear. Bees come right in here, pollinate everything with good airflow to the max right here. Now with squash leaves, you could either eat them or you could compost them. So what to do, we're gonna come get a long enough. These are from like 2 years ago. I save them every year. In the description box, I'm gonna leave links to all these stuff. So what are we gonna do right here? It doesn't make sense to tie your plant from all the way to the bottom of the soil here because we're gonna add more soil eventually. But when you're tying to, you have to make sure you're not squeezing any of the male flower right here or any female. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come above, tie from the main stem right here. Literally, like bend this in half, make it like a U or a V, and we're gonna come. You want to make sure you get a good view. And then we're gonna come like this. What you could do, you could move 1 or 2 stuff out of the way that's in your way and get it. The reason why I put a stick over here because we're gonna pull the plant like that, so keep it straight. Because you see, like my plant was like tilted to the front there. All right, right here is a perfect view. So we come right here and we pull it. You don't want to pull it too much to squeeze or break the plant. And what you could do is tie it maybe twist it. Maybe 1 or twice twist around like that. And we're going to fill some soil in here later on to keep that down. But as you can see, we could pull our stick maybe a little bit more tight to keep it straight. We want to get our plant straight as possible and then put soil at the back of it and press it down so it's kind of like hold in place. And as the leaves grow, we're going to come back this side so everything is going to grow and look full and look straight. You just have to make sure you're guiding it. Another thing I'm going to tell you, once you see your squash and zucchini start growing fruit, you want to make sure you're up to date with your fertilizer and your water. You have to fertilize. I fertilize every 2 to 3 weeks because the plant requires it. And especially in a container, you don't have a lot of soil. You need good compost or you need good fertilizer, organic fertilizer. So before I forgot, when the plant is growing, you want to make sure you get more ties and keep tying it as the plant is growing. I'm going to give you guys updated video and I'm going to link it to here so you guys can follow the steps. But this is how we save space and grow better. So when it comes down to watering a squash or zucchini plant, in ground and a container is different. A container, you're going to need to water more because a container is small. Doesn't matter if it's like a 10 gallon, 5 gallon, it's a small container still versus in ground. So I normally water between 2 to 3 days, every 2 to 3 days, because as the plant grows, it absorbs and uses a lot more water. And you do not want to you do not want your plant to get dehydrated, because then it's going to stress the plant out, and the plant would eventually make some of the fruit turning yellow or rotten or not even growing. Now, when it comes to in-ground, you could get away with at least 4 or 5 days of not watering it, but I will suggest at least water every 3 to 4 days in-ground, because I like to water and make sure the plant has enough water and nutrients, but you don't want to overwater. You don't want to water every single day, because then that's too much of water, and that's gonna leave for the roots to rotten and a lot of problems. Remember, growing vertically, you will save space. Doing a light pruning at the bottom gives you a better airflow, a better growing production, and a faster harvest. I've done this many times before, and I'm telling you, it works 100%. And if you get any bugs attack or any problem with this, you could see it better. If your plants are growing on the ground, it's a hot mess. You're always walking on the leaves. The other plants are always climbing on top of each other. Your garden will get you'll get out of control, and you could get a lot of bugs hiding underneath, and we don't know until it's all too late and they attack our plant. So grow vertically. It's one of the best way to grow any squash or zucchini plant. I highly recommend. Containers. This is a 5 gallon. Listen, the best container size I would say, go with a 7 gallon or an 8 gallon, because you have enough room. I do 5 gallon because I prune and I keep up with the water and I keep up with the compost or fertilizer. If you choose a smaller container, as I said, more fertilizer, more water. If you choose a bigger container, you could get away with a couple day extra. All right, so thank you so much for watching GreenTGarden, and thank you guys. We're in the 40,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And if you're new, welcome to GreenTGarden. We're all about growing a better home garden. I'm in Long Island, New York. Please click the bell icon followed by the red subscribe button. Every time I upload a video, you guys will get it right away, and I'll see you guys next time. Any question, comment below. It's already a hot day today. We got some cold days tomorrow. We got some chilly day. We got a lot of mixed temperature here in Long Island, New York. I'm confused. The plants are confused. The bees are confused. I don't know. Some days we had some bees and it looked like they moved back in.